Good evening, Contest of Champions. Week 7 is over. We are heading into week 8. We are essentially halfway through the year at this point. Anthony, how do you feel about that?
I feel like we just keep making the same video over and over again every week. Every week we come here, we say, "Oh my God, the season's moving so fast." Every week we come here, we just go, "Oh my God, look at the top of the standings." It's just the same song and dance. And I'm just sitting here
Consistency
waiting for someone to shake it up, and I don't
is
wanna.
key.
You don't wanna.
I if you look at those standings, you see the meme where it's like and you and me and you and our friend Greg.
Do do do
That's
do
it.
do do. Greg.
Greg. Do. That's how this feels. It's we have certainly stacked a very commanding lead. Top three versus the rest of the league. Um, it is interesting because at the beginning of the year, when Dan started dropping games, he kept scoring a lot of points, and nobody else except us were winning games. So now Dan has a decent point lead over a lot of the other teams. Evan also sneakily uh, went 0-5 and is still very much in the playoff hunt, uh, just because of points for.
I mean,
And that,
nobody is out of it because we're so top heavy.
yeah,
And because we're
those
so top
bottom
heavy, those
three,
bottom three spots are just going to be wide open for everyone in the league. Especially when you look at the fact that Greg has a very mediocre points for with his one game
oh yeah,
lead. Like Greg can get tie broken by. Wait, is Greg? No, Jeremy is last place in points, but Greg is second to last in points for. Oh, Craig. Sorry, I missed that too.
yeah,
Um,
it's yeah. I wouldn't feel comfortable being anybody below you. I mean, I wouldn't feel comfortable being those bottom 8 spots, bottom 7 spots. I don't like it.
but at the same
Find something.
time, if you're 9 to 12, I'm thinking, well, hey, we're not done yet.
You're
I
not out.
mean, you're alive.
Listen, 7 losses and you're out. Probably
Seven?
five
That's not.
losses.
That's against
Easy.
your typical.
Normally I go 8. I go 8 and
Normally you
you're out
say
for sure.
8 and you're out. But
I
yeah,
feel
it is
like
fair to say that if you
I
have
think
7 losses and you're not Dan, David, or Evan, you're probably out.
yeah, I think with how top heavy it is right now, I think 8 losses you can't get in.
I think for sure you're out at 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're probably out at 7. I doubt anybody sneaks in at 6 and 8, unless they just have a monster points for and everybody else just garbles each other up.
But see, that's the thing. You gotta. Everybody else has to keep losing.
Yeah.
I just don't. I think certain teams are really going to start to emerge. I think Dan's team, Bender's team,
Maybe next week for Dan's team, not this week.
E- and Evan's team, I think are really going to start picking up games
I think
faster and
that
faster.
is really fair. I think the other piece of that really depends on how many games do you, Kyle, and me start dropping. Because if we keep winning, we're just going to keep stacking losses on all of these other teams. I'd assume, just based on, fantasy football returning to the, regression to the norm, the three of us are not going to finish the regular season 13-1. Like, so somewhere along the way, we're going to drop some games. I know this week you guys play each other. One of you is going to drop a game, probably. You know, I mean, I
Ju-
guess there's a
Just
chance.
just to look at some schedules for the teams that I think should have a better
Second
year
half.
going forward. Problem is Bender still has to play Dan. He still has to play Evan. He still has to play me and Kyle. Again,
That does not bode well.
it's not bode well
So
for
that's
Bender.
wow. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 out of his. Hold on, let me line these up right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of his matchups are against the top 4 scoring teams in the league.
Yeah. Kyle.
Out of 6. No, his other 2 are
Kyle.
against Jeremy and Craig, which are the weakest 2 teams in the league. So
Yeah. Kyle, on the other hand, has probably one of the easier runouts. All he has to he plays me and he plays you, but everybody else
bottom half.
bottom half. Like maybe he gets Bender in
David's
last week,
5.
but
Yeah. This week is going to be like, I mean, we were talking about it before we went live. Um, my schedule in particular, these back-to-back 12 and 13, probably going to have a lot to do based on current standing with the way that the first round buys are gonna work their way out.
Yeah.
Um,
I
especially
mean,
depending on how your
it's
matchup goes this
necessary.
week. Who else is around in that spot? Yeah, we will see. Where am I going? Standings.
Jumping
There we
into
go.
the
Jumping
pick'em.
into the pick'em. Bang! We're not dead yet, ladies and gentlemen.
We
We
got a
got
small lead.
ourselves a ball game.
Small,
Big
small lead.
5-1 week for your boy Nathan. Let me down, Sag. But we pull ourselves back. We're only one game back, heading in
Ugh.
to next week.
Greg, Jeremy, come on, guys, come on.
Way to go, Kyle and Dan. I appreciate you. Oh my God! I just accidentally hit a button on my desk. Okay, we're going back up. There we go. I had a thought. Don't remember what it was.
What is it?
Oh, betting watch, David. I don't like your chances. Uh,
Best regular season record, David versus me.
I don't
Uh,
love David's chances.
we feel good where we are right now, but you
Yeah,
never know. You
you
never
never
know how the
know.
season could run out.
Kyle and I in a heated points for battle this season.
Dude,
What a
crazy
good
points for
bet
that.
through 7 weeks. We're halfway done with the season, and 14 points separates us.
What an insane.
That's a great bet. Gonna come down to potentially the wire. Maybe not. As we move into the matchups, I gotta open something, but I will do that on another screen while we talk about these matchups and get rid of this bookmark bar because it's ugly. Hey, it's my matchup. This matchup was spooky, but the boys, the auxiliary picks, really shone through for me here. It's a special teams diff. When it comes down to it, we got 24 versus 13, and it's a 15-point win. That's it's an 11-point differential.
I looked at this and it wouldn't have mattered, but given the choice between Jaleel McLaughlin, JSN, and Joshua Palmer, Bender elected to go with Jaleel McLaughlin.
Yeah.
I
Listen,
did not agree with that.
I've been on this show for the last 3 weeks telling Bender that Jamil McLaughlin is a terrible play, and I'm gonna keep standing by that. He did fall in the end zone in these 2 weeks, and that's the only reason he hasn't been.
Yeah,
But
I didn't like that. I didn't like that. Ultimately, doesn't matter. Just
that is
something
true.
now that I noticed. Alexander Madison continues to be
Mediocre.
just so disappointing.
Listen, I mean,
just
I
like
said
Amari
this to
Cooper.
you this morning, and you kind of wrote me off, but I know I handcuff shuffled myself into Cam Akers in another league, and you were like, they're both bad. I'm like, yeah, they are both bad, but I mean, Cam Akers signs of life for the first time in a year and a half from Cam Akers. That's all I'm saying. He scored 8 points for those keeping track at home. He out touched Alexander Madison. Scored 8 points. I mean, as far as a handcuff shuffle goes, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Jaylen Waddle remains to be fake. He did get hurt and did not play in a significant portion of this game. If it were not for his garbage, this would have looked way worse. I think he exited the game with 3.5 points,
he had 3 points,
and came back in the fourth quarter and scored 6 points. So it would have been even worse had that fourth quarter not happened. Which on the other side of it probably means that this was a Jaylen Waddle game, and I got saved by that injury. That's how I think about it.
That's kind of how I see it. Because listen, Bender is going to get Jamar Chase back. Zay Jones at some point is going to come back in, and then Bender's team is going to be nigh unstoppable. Just got to get there.
I don't know who plays Bender in these weeks, but that's spooky.
Hope it's not me.
Actually, how's the Dallas defense been doing ever since? Yeah, actually, it's really not that spooky.
Not that. I mean, those are tough. Those are tough teams, but they have been playing significantly worse.
I'm just saying they played really bad teams. This is the first week without the corner whose name I can't. Diggs, right? I'm pretty sure he didn't play this week because he got hurt on Thursday of this week.
Sounds about right.
Who knows what was going on in here? And then we're back to good football teams. We got good football teams for 2 weeks. Not a great schedule down the stretch here at all. This is actually can't think of a much worse schedule down the stretch for Dallas D.
Dallas being fake? Who would have thought?
Dallas being fake? Who would have thought this?
And listen, you are on my list for comeback team.
Comeback kid. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel good about your team going forward.
I also
Anthony,
feel
good
good about
win.
Hunter's team. Yeah, good
Also,
win.
drop a game if you wouldn't mind. Okay.
No, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you. Final thoughts. I was sweating. Sam Howell versus Geno Smith ultimately did not matter.
In retrospect,
I thought it was going to be a huge difference. Geno Smith had like 8 points at the end of the first quarter in his game. Finished with I think not even 14, like 13.7 or something like that.
so as the Anthony Richardson drafter,
Mhm.
okay, do you think that Kyler Murray is going to uh, save you the rest of the season when he comes back?
Save me, no. But all I gotta do is get to week 16 and 17. I mean, here's how I think about it, right? I'm 6-1 without a quarterback. If I can find stability at this position, whether it's Sam Howell, Kyler Murray, or another guy off the wire, Geno Smith is available right now. There's a couple guys available. I feel really good about my chances moving forward if I can get some stability at this position. My running backs, I text this in chat, death taxes Christian McCaffrey. Like, that is just reality at this point. It's Gibby
Christian
time
McCaffrey.
in the ultimate of ultimate garbage times for Jameer Gibbs.
All right.
Hopefully
Well,
this is real.
listen.
I'm really sad I left these 25 points on the table.
You hate to, yeah,
You hate
points
to
for
see
it. Really
that.
gonna matter.
Never
Really
really
gonna matter.
thought about it, so I'm not that sad about it. I was always in the Amari Cooper sweepstakes in this week, and then Deshaun got hurt, and it just went to shit. Moving forward, if anybody thinks Amari Cooper's going to do well the rest of the season, send your boy an offer, because probably not going to find his way into my lineup with the rest of the receivers that I got. All right. Moving
Dig
on.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson
Dustin
and AJ Brown
Hopkins.
beat
Oh, I'm sorry.
Craig. No shot. You 22-point kicker differential, Craig.
That is a special teams BF.
That, if I've ever seen one. I don't know how many weeks in a row I have to come on the show and tell Craig to drop the Green Bay defense. Number one, they're a bad defense. Number two, they're a bad fantasy defense. I don't know why he keeps starting them.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it wasn't not much for Craig to do. Adam Thielen was on a bye week, so it was all ogre.
The Curtis Samuel start over Michael Pittman. Interesting.
I mean, Michael Pittman against Cleveland.
I know Cleveland's tough. I know.
Curtis Samuel's has been chaining together some good weeks. I have no qualms with this start.
Michael Pittman did have a really lucky play where he
I mean, 2 for 85. Like, honestly, it went looking at this stat line and looking at Curtis Samuel over the past few weeks, I have absolutely no problems with that play.
Okay.
Did it work out? No, but I'm not going to sit here and say that I would have had faith in Michael Pittman coming off of 3 weeks of mediocrity, one good week playing against Cleveland, who just smacked around San Francisco, and you got Curtis Samuel, who's got back-to-back 15-point weeks, essentially. He's found the end zone in 3 straight weeks. He's playing against the Giants. Like, I have no issue with the start.
So
on your side of things,
drop a game only time will tell how the Raheem Mostert or
I forgot that you traded for Jerome Ford.
I
think you texted me about this, and I just did not put 2 and 2 together.
Nico Collins will fare. I mean, Ford has a great game. An okay game. He has an okay game. It's pretty good. Gets injured. Probably going to miss a couple weeks. We'll see. Raheem Mostert on the flip side of that has a poor game, as I sort of anticipated. It just we'll see how it pans out over the next couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll see what happens.
I know that was a heavy topic in the DMs. We were very 50-50. Nobody was really taking a hard stance. I do think we both came out on the same side of, based on schedule, we prefer your side of the trade. But initially, I was on the Raheem Mostert side of the trade. I think
you're pretty staunchly against it.
I was very much on the Raheem Mostert trade until I think it was Kyle who pointed out the playoff schedule, and Andrew sitting a 5-1 playoff schedule matters. You're probably going to find yourself there. So I think Jerome Ford, most of the schedule is not very good, and some of these schedules, they are very good. maybe not this, but there's no game
Hopefully,
in that week.
Jerome, heal up, buddy. Heal up.
And then if
Back in
not,
there.
I mean, you just slap one of these guys in the flex. You got Isaiah Pacheco, who has just been an absolute stud for you,
He's
honestly.
been great. Pacheco.
Just an absolute
So the
stud. That's
Pacheco.
exactly what you want out of your RB2 flex. Lock me in for
and
13 to 14 a week.
and so the Pacheco trade was Pacheco and Lockett for Mike Evans.
Who had a great week this week.
Mike Evans, solid week. Last week he was a little meh, but this week solid Mike Evans, back to scoring touchdowns. So we'll see how things pan out in the end.
How are you feeling? Sorry, I had one more.
go ahead.
How are you feeling about DJ Moore after this week? Because obviously you would have been terrified coming into the week, and now maybe you're not so afraid.
No, I am so unafraid of DJ Moore. He had 2 almost touchdowns.
Yeah.
That both didn't go through.
Got it. Like obviously this isn't gonna happen again, but seeing a line where he has 8 receptions and had deep shot opportunities has to be very satisfying.
Yeah, reassuring.
Yeah,
no, for sure.
And he can survive the secret Bajan
I'm
man.
I'm all in on secret Bajan man.
We were both so ready to make the joke.
I love it. His I don't know if you saw the clip of his dad arm wrestling.
It did not.
They seem like some fun guys. They seem like some fun guys here to play some footy ball.
Love it.
But yeah, listen. We hope we keep winning. Keep it up. Happy to be here.
Happy to be here. Happy to participate.
David. David's team also kind of spooky. We don't love that Christian Watson got injured, but
got these guys in reserve for later in the season.
What's going on with Devontae
Breece Hall.
Why has Devontae Adams been not very Devontae Adams lately?
Well, Brian Hoyer.
Yeah, but what about all the weeks before that?
Jimmy Garoppolo? I don't know what to tell you.
Okay. So his starting quarterback.
Yeah. Playing in the New England offense.
Another player that has been wildly disappointing since his return, Austin Eckler.
Yes. That has been extremely ungreat. Austin Eckler at his current position, other than Nick Chubb and maybe like J.K. Dobbins, the guys who are out for the season, through 7 weeks is one of the busts of the draft. Because you could argue that this is worse than Nick Chubb and J.K. Dobbins.
Start somebody else.
Yeah, because you're always going to start him. I mean, these are horrendous matchups in his defense. Gets a get-right game against Chicago.
Week 2 or 3, I sent Nathan a trade. Raheem Mostert and something for Austin Eckler.
Wow.
And of course, as you would expect, he laughed in my face. But looking back on it, I think Nathan would have a few more wins under his belt if he had Raheem Mostert on his team throughout those weeks where Austin Eckler's on the IR.
You mean more than none?
Yeah, I do. So, listen, trades are funny because you think they're bad until they're not, or until they are.
It is so funny how fantasy football is really the ultimate equalizer of like real on-field ability, and just like I don't know the last time we saw Cortland Sutton in his starting lineup. And Cortland Sutton has just been a great start in 4 out of the last 5 weeks. You could argue he's been extremely startable in 6 out of 7 weeks this season. Meanwhile, Gabe Davis just continues to be fucking hot or cold, and Drake London does the same thing. Like this Rachaad White pick. I have not looked at Rachaad White's stats in weeks.
Listen, I got a lot of flame for not keeping Rachaad White in one of our leagues.
Yeah, because you kept a kicker. I just want to be clear. You could have kept him for free, and you would just have an RB2 who's not the worst I've ever seen on your roster.
You keep going. I need to figure out who I picked with my 7th round.
It wasn't 7th, bro. It was like 13th.
Was it 13th? I'm pretty sure it was like 7th. But anyway, please continue. Please continue.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident that you gave up like a 13th. You could have given up a 13th round pick for Rachaad White, like literally a free player, and you were like, no, I'll keep my kicker, Tyler Bass. David with the good team win. Travis Kelce, 30-point player. Hard to beat.
Oh,
Hard to
dude.
beat.
Twist bump.
Nathan, maybe you go out and you find a trade partner for
Nathan, you
some of
have to
these
trade.
guys.
You have to trade somebody.
Nathan, maybe you go take a look at somebody who's like a quarterback away from success, and maybe you get yourself a little more stability at the wide receiver position. I don't know. I'm looking at Josh Allen, and I'm looking at Jordan Addison. I'm looking at Josh Allen, and I'm looking at George Pick. Maybe send me an offer. see where the world takes you.
Oh yeah, I don't know about that, but Nathan, I really think, and it's not just me because of course I advocate trades all the time.
There are
What
too
you
many
got going on?
holes.
It's not working. It's not working. You gotta mix it up, bud.
Your team is too boom bust. It feels like there's too much pop or nothing potential, and you can see that in the scores, right? On the other side, Kareem Hunt, good player. Not actually a good player, but man, does he score touchdowns.
Listen, it's so unfair that Jerome Ford had to get hurt, that Kareem Hunt gets to score the walk-off. Could have been Ford.
Loved that, by the way. Had Cleveland and Survivor sweating all weekend. Sweating. Travis Kelce is so good at football. I hope that Taylor Swift is not in attendance whenever I get to play David.
All right, moving on. Good luck out there, boys.
Never.
Stay strong.
Do we have to move on?
Oof. What's
my friend Steve? None of the games were like poople worthy because everybody had it was blowout week. My matchup was matchup of the week. Now that you look back at it, sorry, I didn't mean to click that.
I mean, I do.
Every loser just got blown out. You guys all just played no one. Wait, that's actually crazy. Hold on. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Yeah, the top 6 scoring teams all won. None of us played each other. Like nobody snuck a win this week.
I will say Kyle and Jeremy's overall point total is the lowest, I believe. Just doing some rough math. Actually, maybe it's Greg. Maybe. No, I think it's Kyle Jeremy.
Kyle and Jeremy is 182. Greg Dan is 186. So yeah. Weirdly, you're close. That's how bad Greg is.
Yeah, Greg did not hold his.
You're sitting at 213. Anyway, poop ball.
So,
weirdly enough,
Jeremy leaving Deontay Foreman on the bench.
Tragedy. Strike.
Tragic.
How many weeks are we gonna do this song and dance? And now this is the worst because now you have to start Najee for another week because he finally does well.
I honestly think there's a direct correlation to Najee Harris being on Jeremy's team and Jeremy's team doing so poorly this year.
Yeah, which I said 7 weeks ago on draft night, and everybody crucified me for it. That's all I'm saying, bro.
I can agree that Najee Harris has been nothing but bad luck for Jeremy. It's funny because this is probably one of the weeks where Trevor Lawrence had one of his better weeks, his best week of the year.
And Najee's best week of the year?
It was Najee's best week of the year too. Problem is Keenan Allen has cooled off. He was red hot those first couple weeks, and now he is a dim smolder. I mean, it's not looking hot.
Why you say that? He had 18 last week. It's just one bad week. It's his first single digit. It's his first single digit week of the season. Like let's relax.
Brandon Ayuk continues to be confusing.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy is still. Meh.
That's the reality of starting any San Francisco 49er not named Christian McCaffrey. Maybe you get 30. Maybe you get 0. You can have anything in between.
Raheem Mostert kind of landmined him this week. He's playing against the Eagles. Like the Eagles just better team.
Just landmine the shit out of him for the next 4 weeks.
Raheem Mostert's going to be fine next week. He's going to be fine next week.
Probably.
But yeah, Kyle gets a good win.
Kyle does get a good win.
Kyle had, and this is the best part, or maybe the worst part.
Derrick Henry on bye, Dameon Pierce on bye, DK Metcalf doesn't play, Kyron goes to IR, Deshaun Watson gets. I mean, he doesn't start Deshaun Watson, but and he's just rostering the Jets defense.
And Kyle still puts up a respectable score.
Over
Plenty of
100.
backups.
Sixth best score in the league.
I mean, listen, Kyle with depth is terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because you look at this roster, right? And you just go, other than Darrell Henderson, if you looked at his roster, you would just go, that's a starting roster. Like you would not know that it's a backup of roster, a roster of backups like Diggs,
Right.
Judy, Swift, Njoku, and McLaurin. You'd be like, it's not a great draft, but those are a bunch of guys who are guys.
I mean, listen.
What a good team win. Just like nobody goes below 7. It's your kicker.
I know that we generally do this every year. DeAndre Swift, the best 7th round pick of the year.
Wow. Why is it always him too? It's just we have to do it. Okay, hold on. We have to go.
It's almost always the 7th round where this question comes up.
I feel like we do 6th round a lot too. Yeah, I mean, maybe Pickens.
I think DeAndre Swift.
I would take DeAndre Swift over Pickens as well, but like I'm just looking who else is contending here. Pickens, Kamara, TBD.
Kamara's been really good.
That's what I'm saying, Kamara, but he only has the small sample size. Still more to tell. I would say those are the only 3 from this class that I'm looking at.
You don't think Pittman makes it in?
I don't think Pittman has been consistent enough. Where was the?
It's like you have Pittman, you have Brian Robinson. Like, they're good, but they're just not. I mean, DeAndre Swift has just been so consistent.
Yeah, like Pittman has 3 weeks sub 10. He's been good. Don't get me wrong, but we're talking about best here. Brian Robinson has not been it.
He's been wishy-washy.
Yeah. Better than I thought, honestly. Gets saved by a touchdown this week.
But his best week is against Denver, like early on.
Mm-hmm. Who's the other one? Christian Kirk is the other one I saw.
Yeah, Christian Kirk hasn't done really anything.
No, I mean, you say that.
Oh, I'm sorry, Christian Kirk. I kept thinking Christian Watson.
Kirk has actually been great. Christian Kirk is another one in that conversation. Then honestly, the 7th round was filled with bangers, guys. We did a great job in the 7th round.
I did say this in the Discord, and I will say it again on the recording. After week 1, because Zay Jones was still playing, I told, I said in the video, David, you should just drop Christian Kirk. Then Zay Jones got injured, and all of a sudden, Christian Kirk is the best Jags player there is. Like Calvin Ridley, who? Like,
I'm gonna say, hold on, let me look at Pickens' stats really quick. Let's see the other one that I said.
Direct correlation there. Anyway, Christian Kirk has been really good.
No, there's too many bad weeks in here.
Yeah,
I think based on current pace, it's Alvin Kamara. Now he just didn't play those first couple of weeks, but oh my God, Anthony, Jesus, this is if you guys ever have texted me, that's what it looks like. Based on current pace, it's got to be Alvin. If he keeps up, and if it doesn't, we can reevaluate. I did quickly looking at this because I know it's either 6th or 7th, best 6th round pick in the league. Oh, I was gonna say David Montgomery, lock it in, but then I saw this. I saw the Isaiah Pacheco pick.
You gotta look at Mike Evans. I mean, Mike Evans was a monster in the first couple weeks.
I'm not googling 14 different stats again. I'm not doing it again.
Because remember, I was gonna say Mike Evans was like wide receiver 1.
He was,
or like wide receiver 2.
Yeah, and then we both abandoned him. Had a great time. We both traded him away. One of us got Josh Allen, the other one got Isaiah Pacheco. Well done.
Listen, 6th round pick for a 6th round pick makes sense.
Now I'm just looking at the best pick in every round.
Raheem Mostert, 10th round, baby.
It's Jordan Addison in the 8th. I think pretty locked in. Doesn't look like anybody else in that 8th round pick compares to Jordan Addison.
You said Mike Williams got injured. That's not.
Mike Williams got hurt. I'm like, if he didn't get hurt, would he have been there? Absolutely, but he did.
He'd be up there.
All right, who's next? We're still in this week. Jesus. Oh, I have one more thing to show in. I have a little treat. Some would say some kicker analysis that I have done.
Oh, we got the stats.
We got some stats on Jeremy's kicker. I don't know how to zoom in Google Sheets because it's a broken platform. Here we go. All right, so we have compared Jeremy's average against the league average in kickers week to week. And Jeremy, not doing well until recently, has picked it up. But through the first 4 weeks, Jeremy was at least 2 points below the benchmark in every single week based on his kicker performance. He has definitely picked it up in weeks 5, 6, and 7. And then I also included this one side note that Justin Tucker was drafted in the 9th round. The next kicker was drafted in the 13th round, so 4-round difference. And Justin Tucker is currently the 12th kicker available. Or sorry, 12th kicker in overall points.
Do you think
Uh-huh.
the correlation between, getting enough data on which offenses are good about 4 weeks in really turned the tables on Jeremy picking better kickers?
Wow, that's a great question. I did not do who the kickers were. In retrospect, that would have been funnier to do. It's funny because I debated even showing this because I was like, is this giving Jeremy too much information? Because he knows who he's been picking. So like, I've done work for him. I just thought it was fun. I will say there was not a single week where he was the lowest scoring kicker in either of these weeks.
Wow.
In both of these weeks, there was I think I started Jason Scanners who scored 3 points week 1, and somebody scored. I think Craig's kicker scored like 2 points this week, something like that.
I think Jeremy's pretty locked into Kaimi Fairbairn going forward.
Yeah, I thought it was
Someone's
fun.
on the I like that. I like that. This is the kind of analysis, the hard hitting
Little
analysis.
kicker analysis. And Jeremy, for the record, is not included in this stat. Like his kicker is not included in the league average. This is Jeremy against the other 11 players' kickers. So that 8.8 would be lower if he was included. Yeah, same thing with this. Okay.
All right. Kyle, good win. Drop a game. All right.
Danimal.
Daniel.
Jesus.
All right. Let's talk about Dan's team. We kind of got sidetracked a bunch, but
I mean, like,
Dan,
I would love to, but like, he didn't play against anybody.
Dan wanted a shout out for the Rasheed Rice start. Rasheed Rice.
Why? It wasn't a good start.
Involved. Listen.
What? Why would I'm not shouting out somebody who had a different option who scored more points.
Specifically, he wanted a shout out of Rasheed Rice over Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley.
Oh, Calvin Ridley. Okay.
Been a very confusing player. Just utterly disappearing. Yeah, I don't know. I also made fun of him because he sat Darren Waller. How dare you?
That is actually crazy.
Good win for Daniel. Good win for Daniel. He finally had enough of his players to score together in 1 week, and that's what matters. Big James Cook energy.
I think the big thing is he just didn't play against somebody this week. Greg, where's your team, bud? But yeah, Dan did score 116 points. Like good enough to win on any given week.
Of course, yeah. I don't.
And Greg's team Kirk Cousins against San Francisco. Who didn't see that coming?
Greg gets stuck in another quarterback conundrum. He should just trade one of them away, and then he wouldn't have to guess.
Wow, that's so crazy. If only somebody had been trying to trade him for one of his quarterbacks for several weeks. Wow.
Listen, wow. I just speak just because we're making fun of kickers. Brett Maher did so bad.
The got cut. Yeah, I know. It's so unfortunate.
Or like,
that guy just got cut.
Get at it. Did he miss? Like,
I don't know. I didn't watch that game.
Interesting.
Missed 2 of his 3 field goals and an extra point. Oh my god. Yeah, no, he deserved it.
Bye, Brett. Bye.
Josh Jacobs fake?
No. I mean, maybe. I think the Raiders are just a really bad team.
I agree. I think the Raiders, especially without Jimmy Garoppolo. There is, you know how sometimes people talk about like Colin Kaepernick and like the boys club that is the NFL.
Sure.
Only 3 people watch this program, so I don't feel bad saying this. Brian Hoyer should not be an NFL quarterback. Not in 2023. In 2016, it made a bunch of sense. That man should not be on an NFL roster. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. And it showed when he scored 3 points against the Bears.
Yeah, Bears.
Guys. The Bears. Yeah. I'm just going to say it. That guy should not be on an NFL roster. Not if you're trying to win. I'll say that much.
I will give a little shout out. Shout out to Greg. He'll be fine. He picked up Tyler Algier, who I did drop, who had a pretty decent game. Listen, anybody would like 12 points on their RB slot.
To be fair, this was a weird. The whole. We haven't talked about the Bijan thing. We didn't talk about that during Travis's matchup. We haven't
gotten to Travis yet. We haven't gotten there yet.
Didn't we? Oh, that's right. Travis is next. I guess we can just use that to segue. Shout out Dan. Just kind of smoked Greg. This Kamara Hill combo is going to be terrifying moving forward. Yeah, hope you lose this week and then continue to lose because I don't want to face you in the playoffs.
Greg. All right, Greg, you got it, buddy. Stay strong. Keep those other plebs at bay.
Shout out those two
Okay.
matchups, by the way. Those are the matchups that got me my pick'em W's this week. I had Dan, I had Evan. Let's go, boys. Okay, so this was ultimately it didn't matter,
Didn't
right?
matter.
Travis did not have enough player to start. This Bijan Robinson thing is insane. There's like a formal investigation into this now of how this was handled. I know I saw DraftKings refunded any Bijan Robinson bet, like because of how it was fumbled, for lack of a better term, because the Falcons just essentially did not report any sort of injury status for Bijan Robinson's sickness, which seems like he had like vertigo or like something like that. I don't know. It was
Like headache
headache related, like almost concussion like vertigo type thing. But yeah, they didn't report it, and the NFL's like looking into it for like player compliance issues. So there could be real ramifications for that. But yeah, ultimately, Travis gets blown out by 50.
Yeah.
Didn't matter at all. Bijan Robinson wasn't going to over 50. You wish you had those 20, those 15 points from him in the season standings. Every point matters, but
when Patrick Mahomes starts playing like Patrick Mahomes, Evan's team is gonna be spooky.
I mean, play like Patrick Mahomes every week this season, except for one.
He's gonna be spooky.
Yeah, I mean, we've all known that Evan and Dan are sleeping giants, and if they start rattling off wins, you and I are going to be hoping for a first round bye. Unless
anybody's guess. Kyle Pitts, I hate you. Every time I look at you every week since I dropped you, I'm just upset.
Look at these totally reasonable starts from
I'm
NFL
just upset. I'm just upset about it because I'm pretty sure all of the tight ends that I have started have been worse than if I just kept Kyle Pitts.
Gross.
Anyway, great win, Evan. I know you're on the comeback. Travis, fucking Scotch tape. Keep it together, buddy. Keep that ship afloat.
Jesus.
Try your best.
You better hope. Like these are your hopes. Those are your hopes and dreams coming back.
Believe in Puka. Puka Nakua forever.
Better things ahead for Travis for sure.
All right. Better things ahead. All right, let's jump into next week.
We got a cruise. We are so slow tonight.
A little faster here. Listen, I'm fine with it because we had some excellent kicker analysis.
What the fuck? There's a snowflake on my screen. It's October. All right, so let's look at this matchup. I have not looked at any matchup. You've already picked everything, right?
I've already picked all my matchups.
Well, I'm picking me,
obviously. Now I'm gonna sit here and wait for you to go through.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I listen. It's a 50-50 matchup. I'm in the matchup. I'm picking me.
I'm going Dan.
Of course 100%. You are.
100%.
Of course you're going Dan.
Daniel, I need you to knock Anthony down a lot.
No.
Okay?
No.
Off my back. All right.
No.
Take him out.
Let's
to
see.
A nice seafood dinner.
Let's go Indianapolis defense. Let's go New England defense.
Tua scorches New England every game.
Yeah, it's a weird take. That's a weird take.
Check Tyreek's.
You didn't say that. I just wanted that to be clear. That's a weird take.
Listen, all right, whatever. They beat New England every time. Yeah, listen, I'm telling you, Raheem Mostert's gonna have a crazy week.
I hope so. I hope he does, and I hope Miami understands. I hope New England does the thing when they're like, "Oh, who's the best player that beats us?" All right, let's not let him do that.
I see Calvin Ridley in his lineup.
I love that.
I think it's a good Calvin Ridley week.
I mean, probably.
Pittsburgh has been really bad.
I already know that I am staring down the barrel of just like a wild flex decision. Like, what is going on with these players? Yeah.
Are you just locked into Zay Flowers and George Pickens?
Yes.
Interesting.
Those two will be on my lineup. They have been. Zay Flowers has been way too solid to not earn a spot in the lineup. He's been
solid. Standing, but he's been solid.
I mean, not outstanding, but not solid. But like, I'm not starting this.
Nah, I can't.
I'm not starting this, and I want to fit Addison in. Addison will almost certainly.
I think you have to
be in my lineup. The question is, who does he come out for? And the question is, Zay Flowers, Jahmyr Gibbs, or Joe Mixon.
Yeah, I think it's crazy that you're not starting Jordan
Oh
Addison.
no,
He's
I am.
done.
I have not updated
Okay.
my roster since I came home.
Yeah,
Jordan Addison
he's
will
done.
be in my starting lineup. I don't know who is coming out of my starting lineup is my problem. And
Sure.
I think I am honestly leaning Joe Mixon at this current juncture,
Oh, Joey Mix.
which, if you know me,
I
I am a Joe Mixon truther.
I honestly forgot that this guy was like on your team.
Yeah, I mean, he's been so forgettable this season.
He's been
He has a single touchdown. Like he's been
so
so
forgettable.
forgettable. It will
Honestly,
depend on this
he's been a
too.
real. Listen, if you showed me side by side Joe Mixon stats and Najee Harris's
They're not even
stats,
close.
are you sure? I mean,
Yeah, Najee Harris has 1 double-digit point total this season. He has 3 and a bye week.
They're not that different.
Dude,
That's
Joe
all
Mixon
I'm
almost
saying.
outscored Najee Harris during his bye week. All right, that's all I'm
All right,
saying.
let me ask you this: if you put Joe Mixon's stats next to Jalen Warren's
Wow.
stats,
Okay. See, now we're having
would you be able to
a
tell the
discussion.
difference?
No, probably not. Also, I'm not starting Sam Howell this week. I don't know who I am starting, but
I'll at the moon, baby.
I might actually start him.
All right. Listen, I went Dan. Dan's gonna smoke you. Just
No,
get
he's
over it.
not. No, he's not. Go
You
New
can-
England. Go
You can make it.
Indianapolis.
You can tinker as much as you want.
God,
Dan's
this is
gonna
gonna be
crush you.
such a tinker week, bro. I hate it. Does Dan have any tinker decisions? Not really. Maybe this.
There's no shot he starts Moss.
Maybe this. Again. Maybe this. I mean, there's a legitimate reason that he could start Josh Downs over Calvin Ridley.
Possibly.
I'll start
Josh
playing.
Downs been hot.
I'll start planting a seed, so maybe he messes it up. All right.
Keep it
I'm picking
moving.
me. You're picking Dan, obviously.
It's a pick of me.
Wow, matchup of the week. I mean,
Dude, this first and second seed. Big matchup. You already know. I picked me, obviously.
I hope that Kyle wins this matchup 55-50. That is my hope. I need Kyle to not score a lot of points because I need to pass him. And I hope neither of you score points because I need you to score less points so I can catch you both in points for. I'm looking at the matchups. Wow, I don't like Matt Stafford in Dallas. But other than that, I don't really love your matchups either. Am I picking Kyle?
My matchups are good. You better take a second look.
I don't like Saquon against the Jets.
Why?
Because the Jets are good. I actually love all your other matchups though.
Are the Jets good though? Like, are the Jets a good run defense?
Yes.
I mean, like statistically, they're not, but you have the 11th most fantasy point. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's fair. How do I? I don't want to do that. I want to do the thing where God damn it, it's so annoying to do this.
Just click on NYG.
No, I can't on that screen. I have to go to your team to then click on this. Yeah.
They got beat up by Denver. They got beat up by Pacheco. They got beat up by Tony Pollard. I'm not saying Saquon's gonna go off. I'm just saying Saquon's probably gonna have a very Saquon week.
Listen, I hope
Saquon
has 30 and the Jets win.
We love Saquon. We love Saquon.
I hope Saquon has 30 and the Jets win. Here's the thing: is Daniel Jones gonna play, or is Tyrod Taylor gonna play?
Dude, he's got a better chance with Tyrod.
I agree.
Listen, Kyle's matchups are bad. Okay.
I mean, Derrick Henry is going
terrible.
to smoke Atlanta.
Why do you think? Why are you guys saying that?
Because like the same way that you just said that like Tyreek and Tua and like you had a made up stat that was totally wrong. I forgot that Atlanta's not in the AFC South and will retract what I was gonna say.
Okay. All right.
But
how about the fact that Atlanta has been like really good against running backs? Like,
here's the thing. Atlanta is so I don't know how to describe this. They're so weirdly fake about being good against fantasy players. They absolutely are. But their defense is not the reason why. It's because they just run the ball 37 times a game. So, like, the other team just doesn't get the football. Like, their offense is the reason they're so good against fantasy players, and it's crazy. Because their defense is, like, a very mediocre-ish defense. They're, like, I think they're in that, like, 13 to 17 range of like total defense, but the fact that their offense literally runs the ball 45 times a game and just controls the clock and has 38 minutes of possession, they just don't get points.
Quit stalling and make a pick.
Picking you. I'm picking you until AJ Brown proves that he's not from Earth. That's really, you can't convince me that that man is from this planet. This does feel like a Lamar Jackson trap game if I've ever seen one, though. Like, oh hey, Lamar had 35, free matchup. We're all talking about him, MVP conversation. 12.
So,
Like I can see it.
If you quickly go to the home screen and look at my schedule, you will see a very interesting pattern. So yeah, go to league, drop on down to Sketch. So every week after
Shit on
my
Dork.
loss, I go 110, pop off week, 110.
This is just the Lamar Jackson weeks.
110, pop off week. This is my 110 week. Kyle has a very legitimate chance. As long as he can score 120 points, yeah, obviously
That's
I'm
crazy. If you throw out this game, your lowest scoring point total of the season is 114 points.
Yes.
That's actually a lot.
If we're following that trend, Kyle has. This is a down week for me. Kyle has a perfect opportunity to beat me. So we'll just have to see. I hope I win. I pick me. Moving on.
I'm picking you too.
Let's go.
Hurts me to say that, but
Listen, I
football
slam locked
precursor. Yeah, I think we all are. I mean, so eventually, just show some love to Adam Thielen, Yahoo. Like, let's be real. This man is a monster.
Yeah,
let's bump this to like 13 points.
Listen, we love Adam Thielen. Listen, the fact that the Vikings are actually winning more games than people thought means that Justin Jefferson coming back seems like actually pretty possible.
Mm-hmm.
So, and listen, Craig is not out of it, but he's having a hard time.
Craig, that's right. You're 3-4. I keep forgetting that you have 3 wins, so like you're definitely not out of it. But man, you got to find a way to manufacture points. Because
I gotta make some points. I think the Zach Moss dream is over.
All right. Because it's gonna sound like classic Anthony propaganda, right? Craig, you have to go trade Justin Jefferson to me, Andrew, or Kyle. I'm being dead serious. You cannot sustain this injury. We can, and we will give you good players to potentially give you a playoff run. And I listen, as somebody, I just shipped Kyron Williams off in another league for Jordan Addison. And Kyron Williams has been a 25 point running back in like 4 weeks this season. But I was in a 3-3 spot and just what?
You said Jordan Addison has been a
No, Kyron Williams. I'm sorry. Kyron Williams has been a 20 to 25 point running back in like 4 weeks this season. But he's on the IR, and I can't sustain that level of production for 4 or 5 weeks without him on a 3-3 team. I think you are just in the same boat with Justin Jefferson. And I actually think you might have missed the. I mean, you didn't miss the window, but I mean, yeah, I think literally like right here, you should have just shipped him. I don't know what your record was after that week, but there's an argument to be made that you go send me or Kyle, like looking at Kyle's team, like a Damian Pierce and one of Kyle's receivers. Like you go offer Kyle Justin Jefferson for DK Metcalf and Damian Pierce. You making that trade if you're Kyle?
Hell, I mean, listen, I'm not making that trade if I'm Craig.
Okay.
Damian Pierce? Damian Pierce has been cheeks.
All right, fine. Maybe not Damian Pierce. DeAndre Swift and
DeAndre Swift. Now I'm interested.
Swift and Terry McLaurin.
I listen. You know,
you're not gonna get value. Like it's not about getting value for Jefferson. You are trading down for starters. You go trade me for fucking Joe Mixon and Jordan Addison. Like I don't know. Go trade Andrew for Isaiah Pacheco and fucking somebody on his team. I don't remember anybody on your team. Isaiah Pacheco and Tyler Lockett. Like I don't know. It's gonna be an ugly trade, but you need players. You're not starting. You're starting Zach Moss.
I don't disagree that you probably need to do something, but I don't know. Trading Justin Jefferson is a losing move in my opinion. And I'm a big trade guy. You know I love trading, but I think if you've got the stones, if you think you can hold out, because he comes back in like 2 weeks.
That's if he comes back in the earliest possible week, and he's dealing with a soft tissue injury.
Yeah, it's a gamble. It's a gamble. Who knows? I'm picking Bender. Craig,
And he's got
good
this
luck out there,
bye.
buddy.
Yo, he comes back week 14. It's a lock. Like,
I
he can't play in either of these
don't.
weeks. Then he's got this 3 week stretch. Maybe he comes back here, but
Maybe.
like,
We'll see. We'll see how
I
it
don't know.
develops.
In my
But
opinion, I'm picking better.
Greg, send out some trades. See what happens.
Jonathan
Go not aim
Taylor.
high.
It doesn't have to be
Just aim.
us. Maybe Greg.
Aim.
But
Yeah,
like, you
yeah.
have to be willing to trade a team who has playoff aspirations. That's the thing, because nobody else can eat those IR weeks. That's really all I'm saying. Is go get a wide receiver 2 and a running back 2 that you can slot into your lineup today, because Devontae Smith is fake.
Andre Smith has been super disappointing.
Him and Jalen Waddle. I've been saying it all season. All right, to the next matchup.
Oh,
Jesus.
Jeremy
Who do you got
versus
here?
David.
Oh, it's a big Raheem Mostert week. I'm picking Jeremy.
The big Raheem Mostert week. I have also picked Jeremy.
I don't know that I'm picking Jeremy. Hold on. I actually have to
I
look
do
at this.
think
Is
I do
Dave
think
Montgomery
Christian
going to
Kirk.
play?
It's funny. David's matchups are really good.
Is
David's
David Montgomery going to
matchups.
play?
David might actually just smack Jeremy here.
Listen,
Especially if Dave
the logic says Jeremy will get shit on.
if Dave Montgomery plays and he just slots him in for Christian Watson, who might not play, I'm pretty sure David might just smack the shit out of Jeremy.
Yeah.
But I am betting on Raheem Mostert for 30.
I am. I mean, again, I hope that happens, because I really want to make sure that Dan's, Tua, and Tyreek are not relevant in that game. I am also big Pittsburgh energy this week. I'm starting Pittsburgh D in a lot of places, and I just think that Najee Harris versus Trevor Lawrence game, that game screams 12-9 to me in Pittsburgh,
Very
in
possible.
the
Very
in
possible.
inclement weather.
Inclement weather is a little spooky.
Keenan Allen Chicago really is the saving grace. CeeDee Lamb
I
in
believe.
LA is not bad. I mean, this matchup is really a coin flip. The logic and the math says don't pick Jeremy, because he has like the least points in the league.
Because Jeremy has the least points since the last one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really all it is. And so for that, I'm picking David. I didn't want to bring this up
Believe.
earlier because I didn't want to feel like I was attacking him. I don't think we've ever done a rundown where Jeremy is in last place in 5 years of rundowns.
Yeah, I think you are correct. Jeremy has certainly never been this low in the leaderboards since we've been doing these, and I think he's definitely never been last place.
Yeah.
You know, listen, it's some you can't win every year.
Ugh, I thought we already saw the poop bowl. Turns out we didn't. It's this one. Gross. I've heard a lot of things about DeAndre Hopkins being shipped out of Tennessee.
Oh,
Potential trade for target if you're Dallas, if you're Buffalo, and you just need another actual wide receiver.
oh, Pat Freiermuth went to IR. Oh wow.
Yeah, he re-injured his hamstring or his knee, whatever it was. He re-aggravated it.
Bummer.
I think I've picked Nathan in like 3 straight weeks, and I don't think Nathan has won in those weeks. Half of Nathan's team plays on Thursday night.
Yep.
Wait, Travis has Tyler Bass and Tampa Bay defense. So Travis is not starting Tampa Bay defense. I don't know who he is starting, but it's not them. Courtland Sutton maybe finds his way in the lineup. This is probably the Gabe Davis week. If Austin Eckler is gonna have a get right week, is this week against Chicago.
Right, buddy.
Travis Etienne has been outright unstoppable.
What a beast. What a beast.
Jake Moody looking yippy. All I'm saying, get rid of this guy.
Wow.
This guy's missing kicks left and right. And I don't mean that literally. You don't have a tight end though, so that's interesting. We starting Mike Gesicki? No, we're not. So Nathan's going for a tight end. Travis is going for a defense. This matchup looks ugly. This matchup looks like poop. I'm pretty sure I don't think I've picked either one of these guys' matchups correctly a single time all season.
Yep.
And I am taking Nathan.
Disgusting. I took Nathan. Get out of here. All right, Nathan. I believe.
There'll be no
I
points game this
believe.
season.
Get
I believe
it
that we will
done.
win. I believe that we will win. Oh my god. It's the man
It
fighting
doesn't.
for the playoffs versus the boy genius.
You don't even have to ask. You already know
Bam!
our pick.
We
You
already
already know
know.
who I
We
picked.
already know. It's so unfortunate for Greg, one of our 2 viewers, that he is playing against Evan, because you already know the boys are slam locking Evan every single week. I will say, Greg is sitting at 101-ish. His team
Yeah,
is
yeah.
much higher rated. I hate this
And
matchup.
our friend
I hate
Greg.
this matchup. Greg.
Greg.
I don't like this matchup. I don't like any of Greg's matchups. How did Ramondre play this week? I'm curious. Oh, pretty okay.
It's okay. It's okay. Roger's gonna be fine. I just think
T. Higgins is finally back. Greg
now listen,
finally got
some
some
of
noise
Evans'
here.
matchups aren't very good, right? You got Kenneth Walker against
Ugh.
Cleveland. It's not
Wait, is
good.
T. Higgins the fakest fake of all the fakes? I've been calling
Higgins
Devonta
has
Smith
been.
and Jalen Waddle fake, but these are a lot of
Higgins has
injuries. I think he
been.
didn't play. Did he play in this game?
I don't think so. His injuries have been really painful.
This is not a good matchup. This is also not a good matchup. This is a really good matchup. This is the best matchup you can have.
Yeah, I'm going Evan. I'm going
Me
Evan.
too, but I see a window. I see a
There's a
path.
window. There's for sure a window. Greg is definitely. It's not a lock, but I just like the narrative of Evan winning.
Me too. But listen, when it comes down to it, every season there are teams that find ways to win and there are teams that don't win, and Greg is on a find ways to win team.
We'll see. We
Um,
will see.
I really want to
Listen,
pick
everybody,
Greg.
that
This
is
is the
the
longest rundown
rundown
ever.
for week 7/8. All right. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed that kicker analysis, that playoff preview. Have a good week, boys.
Probably have a real
See
playoff
y'all
preview
later.
in the next couple of weeks.
Love you.
Peace.